Hello there, folks, and welcome back to Derby County Strikerless. I don't know why I added that bit. Does that make it better? And officially, episode 2 of this series. Don't question it. So we've played a whole host of games since we last met. We find ourselves in 9th position. We'll run through these fixtures, but we're in the 19th of October, which means we skipped deadline day. And we did some stuff on deadline day. It was a really long deadline day. Considering what I did, there's a reason it took me so long. I was looking for very specific things and could not find them. So as a video, it wouldn't have been very good. But we signed 2 players. Let me introduce you to those players. The first of which will be a name familiar to many of you and a player we've actually talked about quite a lot, and that is Yoko. Now, of course, we've got the main man at anchor right now, but Bilic, I tried to avoid saying his name there, and I've still gone for it. Bilic. No, not sure. And if he gets injured or anything happens to him, Will Hughes was the option. We talked about that yesterday. So Yoko comes in to basically be the backup anchor man, and he'll be okay. And the big thing for me is jumping reach and heading ability, pretty good. And in that role, you'd be surprised at how important that is. The fact he can't play centre back at all worries me a little bit. I do think having that defensive responsibility sort of on the brain can be quite crucial. Some of his mental attributes again could be slightly better, but it's okay. He's quite a well-rounded player. 30 years of age, has cost me 3.5 million, which is quite a lot, I guess. But actually, for a backup centre midfielder in the Premier League, that'll do me nicely. So welcome, Yoko. And then, you've seen the title of the video. We've bought our first regen of, well, this series. Only 2 episodes, obviously. You know what I mean. Duvan Quintana has joined us. Now, I don't know if this is smart or not. We're training him to play on the left-hand side, of course. He's not going to be a striker for us or play... Well, he could play an attacking midfielder. Or again, we could change up the striker list a little bit, right? It was the physical attributes, viewers. The off-the-ball that stood out to me. Great acceleration, really good agility. 18 agility, you'd love to see that. Again, I'd say really good off the ball. Good heading, not so good jumping reach. I don't know why that matters. So yeah, lots to work on. 18 years of age, Colombian. It says there he's worth 51 to 62 million. So you're probably thinking, how much have you paid for him? Well, 1.6 million. That was his release fee. Welcome. Duvan Quintana is an amazing name as well. I don't really know if he's going to be any good for us. It basically wanted someone who was to be a backup on the right side to really say, but I didn't necessarily know what that player would look like or who that would be. There's a few loan options. The biggest one that we nearly went for, it never happened, was Hudson-Odoi from Chelsea. But yeah, we had so many players we were looking at that none of which really made sense in the squad that we had. So getting in someone young who can maybe grow into something or at least be sold on in the future if needs be, that was the most logical option for us, and that's eventually what we did. The season then, as we come to it, has been challenging, I would say. Not been as straightforward as I would have wanted. If we look at the Premier League table, we can see there 9th place, 7 games gone. Of course, we won our opening game fixture that we saw yesterday. 3 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats. The defeats coming to Leicester and Arsenal. And they weren't just defeats, they were poundings, viewers. They weren't good. You join us then in October, and there's reason for that. The plan, as you can see all the results there, I'll let you ingest them while I carry on. What I'm going to do is there's a chunk of 4 games here, 2 Premier League games against Fulham and Bournemouth, and then Tottenham and Liverpool, which are definitely tougher games, and a Carabao 4th round game as well. We've beat Southampton, beaten Huddersfield. I'd love a little cup run. Might be one of our easier routes to Europe, I'm thinking / hoping. Liverpool have knocked out City as well. United's still in there. But if we can navigate Tottenham, you never know, do you? You never know. Quite a few League One sides floating around as well. But they've got some tough Premier League opposition to come as well. So yeah, just so we can get a bit more of an understanding for the tactic, the idea of how this team plays, I think doing 4 games in a row will give us a real good game-to-game idea of what's going on in this team, with this system, with these players, and how we can maybe change and adapt it. And you get to see that rather than me sort of playing through loads and then you not seeing it for a little while and not understanding the development of some of the players and positions and things like that. These 4 games should give us something to learn, right? Some easier games against Fulham and Bournemouth, and then some tougher games against Tottenham and Liverpool tomorrow. Right then, let's dig our way into Fulham and then Bournemouth, a home game and an away game. Perfect. So system-wise, not much has changed. I was toying with the idea of playing Vertout, or is it Vertout? I can't be said Vertout. Is it Vertu? I feel like it's Vertu, and I'm saying Vertout. I feel like I know it's Vertu. Veretu, maybe. Veretu. Jordan. Could call him Jordan, couldn't I? I mean, that's... God. I toyed with making him an advanced playmaker or a deep line playmaker, just sort of sitting. But then I found that that lack of runner or that lack of body in the forward areas was causing us some problems. I'm curious with these roles, right? Centre midfield attack is really good. Like, it's really, really good this year. There's a reason I play 3 of them. But I do wonder if we could alter these ever so slightly to maybe get slightly different roles working in slightly different ways, right? So the Mazzalas on either side is an option for us. Again, having a playmaker either just on one side or having 2 of them either side, perhaps sort of working the ball forward and again integrating the wing backs a little more. There are options for us there. Or another thing you could do is drop the anchor man entirely, play someone in front, and then again have this player sit that little bit deeper, but still have the 3 across in a line. Again, options for us. I think removing the anchor, though. Danger. Team going into this one, then. This is the side we're going to play. Rare in goal. Bulldog, Tarkowski, Alex has overtaken Jack O'Connell for me. He's been so much better. Lukaku on the left. Bielik is there as well with Willock, Vidovic, and Vertu. Jordan. Alissi one side. Zaha the other. Let's get into this. Thank you to everyone. I looked at the comments yesterday. Most of them were about pronunciations. As you can see, I took a lot of notice. I'm just trying to learn. I'm just trying to learn on the fly. And if I flukily get it right, then that's good enough for me. It's the first day of the year, by the way, viewers, where I've sat down to record. I've just been out to the shops. Not a big shop, sort of a middle shop. And yeah, it's hot, isn't it? It's too hot. These lights are too... Do you know what? The fact we've made that executive decision not to use the background light as vast as normal. What a decision. This room is like a sauna. So... yeah, I need like a Lucozade bottle I can spray on some rocks. Do people still do that? That's my only experience of a sauna is just spraying water over a pile of hot rocks. Sure, it was a sauna. All right then, let's see. Fulham in the yellow. Now, it's not been an easy season. Some really uncomfortable draws this season, as well as those, again, 2 heavy defeats to Leicester and to Arsenal. One of them was playing a 4-2-3-1. The other was playing a 4-4-2. I don't know if just the wide options were causing us a lot more problems. In a few other games, I have decided to man mark those wide players with my fullbacks. So defensively, at least, they're a little bit more switched on. As Sanchez runs through, Lee Kang in and pops it in, or Kang in Lee, as it says there. But, I mean, who knows, viewers? It's backwards and forwards. But an early goal for them, and that puts us on the back foot. And I do feel like, actually, and this is a theme of this save, and I guess we're going to see in the next 4 games, is when we go behind, we tend to struggle more than when we take the lead. When we take the lead, we're very much in control of a game, and then we can just kind of manage it throughout. When we're behind, it's a little bit more difficult to get a hold of it. Again, the passes that we have, Fulham so far dominating possession, that is the worst thing possible for us. So we're going to have to find a way to wrestle back possession as Fulham have put another ball in and they look dangerous early on. And I'm just considering early on then whether we make some changes. We already play quite a high tempo. I think we lower both of those down, play slightly wider. Again, stretch the pitch out a little bit if we can with our wider options and just see if it enables us to keep the ball a little better. Possession's been okay so far, but they've had a lot more passes than we have. So it's time now to try and work something as Zaha with a header at the back post. Again, not known for his heading as Wolf, but he likes to go for it. And we'll try and encourage the boys as well. Staying on that positive mindset, again, the home side, as Vidovic with a free kick. Goes for it. It's a vicious free kick. Just saved over as Bursic makes a decent save. Corner to be played on that side. We're going to go short. These two don't quite combine as it goes all the way back to Jordan Lukaku. And what a highlight. I mean, I think we've all enjoyed that, haven't we? All right, nearly half an hour gone. Again, we'll encourage again. It's been very, very passive from us. It must be said. Barely anything to speak of just yet. Our XG is better than theirs, but we've seen a half-assed free kick and an average header. As Baldock on that side now. Plays it back into Willock, forward to Alissi. Now the ball in the middle's got to be perfect. Baldock's arriving late. Really go for it on that left foot. I don't mind this. Be a little bit patient. You can see now there's so many players for this Fulham midfield to try and figure out. This guy at the back's got a 3v1 situation to try and deal with. And again, similarly on that side, if the ball's right, it goes all the way back. If the ball is right there, we can really create some overloads. We come out to this left-hand side where there is that advantage. Zaha, Vidovic, the 3 of them combine and the 3 of them score. That is exactly what we noticed as the breakdown happened. And that's when you push players forward so advanced. And the ball rotates back round. That's why I don't mind us going patient and going backwards, because actually then you create these sorts of situations. The 3 of them that were all over this defender now find a way to combine. This defender doesn't know where he's going. Zaha with a lovely slip ball through. And Vidovic, the attacking midfielder runner, that scores the goal. Lovely stuff. 40 minutes gone. And that's perfect. And our ability to recycle possession and to keep the ball, absolutely pivotal there. Really good stuff from us. And it puts us in at half-time then at 1-1. Things ordinarily are looking as they're supposed to look. When you look at the average positions of this Derby side, if we just do it with the ball especially, these fullbacks really do have to try and push on. So it sort of becomes, again, you can see where the triangle's coming from, can't you? It's kind of perfect. The defensive triangle sits a little deeper and allows everyone else to go forward. But yeah, it's perfect. I'm not happy with the performance though. I've said that in the team talk. I think we can do better than this. We should be beating Fulham, in my opinion. And hopefully now in the second half, we're going to see just that, as one of the worst attempts to keep possession of all time. Sanchez racing forward. We're chasing back to stop him. Lots of bodies around him as the game pauses very briefly for no reason at all. As Vertel now, I don't know what happened to me. I don't know what happened to my voice or my brain. A Bulldog racing forward. Come on, Georgie boy. Finds Elisi. Lovely ball to Willock now. And this is where his pace comes into its own. Loads of players running forward into the centre. The overload's there, headed away by Marcus Edwards. Here and Zaha rose for it. And Lukaku back on that side. If he can play a ball into the middle of the pitch, he can. Elisi's there. It's not the best thing to do. Elise, I feel like it's Elise, Michael Elise, and I keep saying Elise. Like, what is that? I get, do you know what it is? I get overexcited. I just say things wrong, and I know I'm saying them wrong. And if I was watching, I'd be getting furious, which is why you get yeah. Do you know what? It all just made sense in my brain. Right, we are at the 68-minute mark, and my wide boys haven't had a huge amount of impact just yet. We've got Elias Chair to come on if possible. Again, he's creative. He knows what he's doing. Dean Garner as well. Look at the improvement on him, by the way, in recent weeks has been really good. And it actually played a part in me not signing someone who's going to be a starter all the time. I think Dean Garner is the option right now for Elise. I think that's probably the move. 20 minutes to go. Again, one of the midfield options as well. Maybe freshen it up. We've got another highlight here. Is Lukaku into Willock. Now Vidovic as well. Lukaku back to him. And it's all about keeping the ball. Ball played into the centre. There's Diang. Oh, it's a great chance. Cleared away. They don't quite get it all the way away, but Marcus Edwards will bring it away now. He's the kind of player I would love to sign, but the expense on him is outrageous. And obviously he's at Fulham now as well as Alex there with what you can only describe as a professional foul. The fact he's not been booked for that is kind of hilarious. Right, another chance at possession. This is what we want to see. And again, working those attacking triangles is absolutely crucial. And this is one of the things is why I'm hesitant to change certain things as well, because I don't want to lose the things that make us so good. As I say all of this, as Fulham get the ball, they're in behind. Wilson, why does it keep freezing? I've just updated my graphics. What's the problem? Maybe that is the problem, I realise now. 12 minutes to go. Feels like the game is making decisions. That's what stresses me out, viewers. Let's have a think about it. I think Tom Lawrence is probably the option, right? He knows the system. He knows the role. Let's see with 10 minutes to go. He's been a great servant for me before. While he might not have the quality as for two, you never know. There could be one option for him, one moment for him. We've got one more sub to make. It's not really worked out, has it? Loftus-Cheek, again, a bigger body. Maybe from set pieces could be important. 10 minutes to go. We'll encourage the boys. I could maybe push Lawrence on in these final moments. I guess that's the option, isn't it? Just in these final few minutes to try and make something happen. But it doesn't look like it's going to. And this goes down, you gotta say it, as drop points. Like, we've looked okay in the game. We've had some nice opportunities, but not enough clear-cut chances. You look at the ones that were had by Fulham, they were much better than ours, and we had lots of sort of little chances, you know, little like a picky tea. Do you know what I mean? But not enough. You know, we didn't have a full main course. I don't know. Right, on to the next one. It's disappointing. It is disappointing. And when you look at the league table, you'll see why it's so disappointing. This is supposed to be the year we push for Europe, and you look at that league table right now. Yes, we're only 2 points behind Manchester City, but it is Manchester City. So work to be done. Tottenham having a struggling season right now. Actually, that gives me some hope for the cup game coming up. But it's a bit make or break this point in the season. If you start winning games and putting a run together, you can put yourself in a position you never really expected to be in. I don't know what the expectation is for this season, really. I think top half has to be the goal. And then next year, like, again, if I'm trying to win the Premier League in 3 years, next year probably has to be Europe. Just to, the quality of players that we can attract has to go up. And what I'm trying to do here, if it's not obvious, I shouldn't be able to win the league in 3 years. I shouldn't be able to. But the way the system works, the way the players play within it, I think we can kind of do what we did in the Championship. I don't think we were the best team in the Championship, but the way we won that league, or at least fought for that league title, it's kind of what I'm looking to see with these boys. A good consolation prize would be any sort of trophies we can accumulate before the 3 years is up. All right, Bournemouth then, 5 days' time. Look at the league table. Bournemouth are right there with us. And again, feels a little bit make or break at this point in the season. This is a game I really do want to win. And Quintana won't be available. And I'm sorry. I wish we could see him in action, but not today. Oh, dear God. Right. Ray is out for... Okay, it's fine. Who was the keeper? Ray is out then, so we're going to have to bring in Alfie Whiteman, who I'm not sure. I mean, he's okay. He's a goalkeeper, isn't he? It's what he said when I signed it. Well, that's fine then. Okay, well, we're learning, aren't we? Like, we're enjoying these 4 games together over 2 episodes. So this is great. All right, Bournemouth. Here we go then, ready for it. And our goalkeeper switch is not at the ideal time, but it's happened. So we, can't whinge about it any longer. Team-wise then, I'm going to stick with the same 11 that we've just played. I just want to see a little bit more from them. I'm trying to change up a few things. Like, hold up the ball I play occasionally, but not all the time. We did see it worked well for him though in a previous game, so we'll put it back on him. It's already on Zaha, which I'm not sure it does work so well on. It's strange. Sometimes certain players with certain roles and attributes and traits and things like that will obviously change how things operate. I'm just wondering if, and this is maybe brave to do with all 3 players, if we shorten the passing of these 3, it might just enable us to keep the ball a little better. And that's the theory that I'm going to go for. It's already on Bilic. I think it happens already on Anchorman to begin with. Right. We need some more goals. I think that's the problem so far this year. And I know what you're thinking. Play one striker then. No, it's not the point. There is a little bit of me, and this is a crazy thing to admit now, right? There's a little bit of me that hopes that the season is kind of safely wrapped up by game 28, right? No risk of relegation. The chances of a title are unlikely, and I can trial like 3 other strikerless systems. That's sort of the dream. Because outside of doing it in another save, I don't really have the option here with Derby, with these players. All right, lovely. It's only a distribution there for Whiteman, all the way out to Lukaku, who's racing forwards. And that brings me to the fullbacks a little bit, really. We've changed up our system ever so slightly. We now aren't focusing play down either flank. We're overlapping on both sides. Again, just trying to offer ourselves that little bit more of an option. I don't really mind if we go through the middle quite so much, and if it falls to wide areas, that's fine as well. These wide players already, just the movement of them there and the width they're keeping makes me a little bit worried. We might apply the man mark thing to the wingers now. I'm scared. They're in. I should have been scared. They lead. This is the same thing that happened versus... okay, I'm scared now. I'm going to make that switch. I'm going to man mark them both. What's frustrating is recent results have been pretty good as well. So having to do this makes me frustrated. All right, Bournemouth lead though as the home team. And again, I said it before and I mean it. This is crunch time. We can't afford to slip up here. With the additions we've made, with the players that we've improved the team with, you'd expect a little bit more, to be honest. All right, don't get impatient at the back. That's crucial. You've got to try and find... oh god, that wasn't impatient, it was just shit. Sorry, I say what you see, viewers. Tarkovsky into Solanke's feet though. Oh god, shall I change clubs? Actually, I said Derby County Strikerless win the league in 3 years. I didn't say it'd be with Derby, did I? 2-0 down, and this feels, and this is the scary bit, it feels like we're playing Arsenal. This is what happened versus Arsenal. We're a little bit unlucky with that challenge, falls to Solanke, and the finish. Not loving the goalkeeping, if I'm honest. You know the adversity that I didn't go through in the Championship? Well, this is the season. It was at the point in which I went, we should try and win the league. And then the game went, don't, you stop yourself now. All right, let's try and put something together. Ball forward towards Lukaku of all people. The fullback going forward and now needing a lot of support as him and Zaha there. The lack of link-up play was scarily poor, as now they keep the ball through the centre, running it through us a little bit into the wide area as well. God, we are being cut open. The comments are going to come for me. As we look, we don't look like a team. We don't look like a unit right now. That's the thing that's a little bit scary about this game. As, look at the work done on that side. So into Solanke. Christ almighty, this is bad. All right, half time. There are things we need to look at to decipher why this is going quite so wrong. So let's take a look at those things. So now we looked at it before, right, about where our fullbacks are playing. Are they as pushed up as they normally are, or are they being forced back by a good Bournemouth side? They're not as far forward, I wouldn't say, but it's not crazy different. Again, the link between those 3 on that side especially isn't nearly as good. It's not working for us. Whereas conversely, you look at the space that we're leaving in wide areas, Bournemouth's fullbacks are really wide and really pushed up, and That then is why we've got a problem. So, changes to make. Vidovic is going to come into the centre area and play again on an attack role. I'm going to make the inside forward roles of Alicia and Zaha support roles. They might get on the ball a little bit more. They might be able to dribble from deeper areas. The important thing here, though, is to put these boys as wing backs, because right now we're getting done out wide. It's 3-0, right? We're probably not going to win this, but we have to try and stay competitive. We're seeing very little from anybody. So changes, I could take them all off, frankly. It was absolutely terrible, as if they don't... I don't think they know. I think I was trying to play wider. Again, it might be about positionally, like when we lose the ball, if we're in those areas, it might be slightly better for us. I think being a little bit more patient. And I actually think the idea of us playing a lot slower, because of how much better we are, that sounds obvious, right, with the ball. We're not good without the ball. That's sort of the point I'm making. We're not defensively really strong. We are trying to counter. We're trying to hit teams. We're trying to create spaces where there shouldn't ordinarily be space. And, yeah, if you're getting picked off against Bournemouth, you've got bigger problems. But this is good. Like, again, we can try and make adjustments for upcoming games against some tough sides as well and see how it works and see if it changes things. And that's the joy now of us doing 4 in a row. So you're going to be able to see the differences that are made there. And also, in the second half, I wanted to go super short with our passing now. Not look for the overlap quite so much. Play even wider if possible. And again, just try and find each other. I realised one of the things we changed, and it might be affecting how often we get the ball out wide, is I made all the central players pass shorter. And looking at the way the game has gone, I don't think that's been particularly effective. All right, we've lost 3-0, which... in a sense, is fine because you find a lot more out from games in which you lose. I just want to know, well, what I was curious to see actually was how often, I didn't make any changes, I realised, but the game felt gone a little bit. Alyssa and Zaha have been involved more than I would have thought before looking at this, like performance-wise there. Yes, by the way, comment section, I absolutely should and could have made changes, but again, I do feel like the game was somewhat gone. And I was curious to see how the same players would react after the half. Wyman's given the ball away quite a lot there. 57% seems like that's a lot. That's a lot to give it away. How much does that differ from Raya normally? That's what we need to find out. 1 point from these 2 games though. That is shoddy. All right, we go into 11th then. We're still not that far off the top 4 or even the top, or even 3rd, but the gap's going to start to grow if we're not careful. Let me just look at Raya's passing on an average game. All right, look at some of this. Like if you compare it to the Fulham game, 39 of 45 completed. That is far more than 50%. And generally, his passing is just that bit better. Yeah, his passing stat in the league, 75%. What we just saw from Whiteman there, not that. Yeah, 57% in that game is way below what we need, really. I don't want to blame it all on him, but it's definitely a factor. His passing's not as good, like his first touch not as good. He's just not a ball-playing goalkeeper, which now, retrospectively, makes him seem like a terrible addition to the team. All right, Fulham in 4 days. We're going to be back tomorrow for that. If you enjoyed today, again, do leave a like on it. Thank you for supporting us today. Hopefully you enjoyed today, and we'll be back to take on Tottenham in the Cup and Liverpool in the league. It only gets tougher from here. Any advice in the comments? I'll be reading it. Thank you for watching. See you soon.